Hey guys, today I want to give you a little bit of information on Medicare. This video is really going to be catered to people that are maybe new to Medicare or maybe been in Medicare for a little while but still not sure of what your other options would be. This will be a good video for you. I'm going to give you kind of the basics on how Medicare works. I'm not going to get to any really details as far as companies go, as far as specific policies. I just want you to understand what your options are within Medicare if you're new there, or like I said, if you want to see what else is out there. Okay. Now, the page that I have up here on the screen is actually in this book, the Medicare New Guidebook, this 2017 edition. You should get one of these about every year for Medicare, it's giving you updates or any kind of changes that are coming within Medicare. This is page 17 in that book. It's a very good page. There's a lot of stuff in that book that can confuse you more, but this is a very good page to give you a good understanding of what your options are. Okay, so I'm going to go over this page in detail and give you a good idea of what you can do within Medicare. All right, so first things first, when you're new to Medicare, you're going to be overwhelmed with stuff in the mail. Every company you can think of is going to send you something. You're going to get phone calls, so you're going to have more options to look at than you can imagine. Okay, the thing is, not all those options are the best ones for you. So what I want to do is give you an idea on maybe which direction you want to go so you'll know what kind of policy you're looking at. Okay. So first things first, when you get your red, white, and blue card or red, white, and blue card in the mail, that's your Part A and your Part B. That is considered Original Medicare. Okay, it's right up in the top left here. So what Original Medicare is, it covers all your hospital coverage and everything else outside of that. The Part B, Part A is your hospital. Part B is pretty much everything else. Your doctor visits, your hospital stays, your therapy, pretty much anything you can think of is the Part B. All right. And right off here it says Medicare provides this coverage directly. So what that means is when you go to the doctor, you'll give them your red, white, and blue card. Medicare pays 80% of the medical cost. You pay the other 20%. Simple as that. Nothing else to it. Okay. The benefit of Original Medicare too is you have your choice of doctors, hospitals, and other providers that accept Medicare. So as long as a doctor provides Medicare, that office, you can go there. There's no network to worry about. As long as they take Medicare, you can go there. So another great thing, the network, you're not really limited, so it's a really good thing. Generally, you or your supplemental coverage pay deductibles and co-insurance. So what that's saying is, again, Medicare pays 80%, you pay the other 20%. You have an option to get a supplemental policy to pay that other 20%. If you don't get a supplemental policy, you can pay the 20%. All right. Now, the downfall to that is if you do not have a supplemental policy or Medicare Advantage policy, what happens is you're responsible for that 20%. That 20% has no ceiling, there's no cap. So if you have a hospital stay or you have a major illness, you're paying 20% of every bill you get, and there's no stopping it. Okay, that's why it's very important to get either a Medicare Advantage plan or a Medicare supplement plan. Just at least stop the bleeding on that bill. It's very important. Okay, so you want to make sure you have something, and that's what I'm going to get into in a minute on how this Medicare Advantage plan works versus the Medicare supplement, and then you can kind of decide on what direction you want to go. Now, Original Medicare these days, when you're new to Medicare, costs about $134 a month. They typically take that right out of your Social Security check. So Medicare will cost you $134 a month. All right, so that's kind of the basics on Original Medicare. Now, if you stick with Original Medicare, you also want to get a Part D plan. That's your drug plan. If you do not get a drug plan, if you stick with Original Medicare and you do not have a drug plan, you will get a penalty once you do get a drug plan. You can actually just Google that. I'll have that in another video too. But if you do not get the drug plan when you're supposed to, let's say you get it 5 years down the road, you'll get a penalty for every month you did not have it when you should have had it. So you want to get some kind of drug coverage. Even if you're taking no medicine, get the cheapest drug plan out there, and just so you can make sure you're covered. Now, these are also offered by private insurance companies, anywhere from $17 to $80 depending on your medications. No matter what drug plan you go with, whatever agent you're talking to, make sure they put every one of them into their computer and make sure they verify how much every one of them is going to cost. Okay, that's a big deal for you. Make sure you know exactly how much all of your drugs are going to cost. One plan might have it at $50, one plan might have it at $30. So there's different tiers. There's a lot of things that go into medicines. Medicines are a very big deal and very important. Make sure they search all of your medicines for you. All right, so the other part here is the Medicare supplement, okay? This will help cover that other 20% that we talked about earlier. So the way the Medicare supplement plan works, on original Medicare, like I said, you're going to be paying about $134 a month. You're going to pay that no matter what. If you go with a Medicare supplement or a Medicare Advantage plan, it doesn't matter. You're going to pay that, okay? The Medicare supplement plan is going to be an additional monthly payment. Anywhere from, it just depends on where you live at. Every location will be a little bit different. Even within counties in the state, prices are going to be different. So let's just say $130. So you're paying $134 here. You're going to pay $130 for your supplement. Now, the way the supplement works, and look right here, it says you may want to get coverage that fills gaps in your original Medicare. You can choose to buy a Medicare supplement insurance or Medigap policy from a private company. Costs vary by policy and company. That part is very important. Again, costs vary by policy and company. The way Medicare supplement plans work, if company A offers a Medicare supplement and company B offers Medicare supplement, and you go with plan F with the same company, the coverage is identical. There's no differences. They're mandated, they're required, and it's mandated by Medicare and CMS. They require the exact same coverage. The only difference is the price. So you want to make sure you're talking to an agent that represents several companies and giving you the company has the best price on the Medicare supplement. Okay, very important. Doesn't matter which plan you go with a supplement. Every company is the same. The only difference is the price. So make sure you're with a company that gives you the best price. The other thing that's great about a Medicare supplement, there's no network. Just as original Medicare goes, when you go to the doctor, you'll give them your original Medicare card, then you give them your supplement card. Covers all the bill for you. You make your monthly payment, you go to the doctor, everything else is covered. Now, depending on which plan you go with the Medicare supplement, there could be some small fees in the back end, but very, very little. So let me give you an example. So let's say you get hit by a car or you have a major accident and you're in the hospital for 50 days and you have hundreds of thousands of medical bills. When you leave the hospital, your bill is $0. Okay, that's a pretty big thing. Also, let's say you had a major illness like cancer and you want to go to a specific doctor in another state. Doesn't matter about network. If they take Medicare, you can go there. So as long as the doctor takes Medicare, you can go to that doctor. There's not a network to worry about. So that's a pretty good thing. So a lot of people like just making the monthly payment and they have very little to worry about on the back end. Okay? So that's kind of the basis on a Medicare supplement. Now there's a lot of different plans within a supplement. There's only a couple that I recommend, but that's another conversation, another video. But just want you to understand how a Medicare supplement plan works. All right? Your last option would be a Medicare Advantage plan, which is going to be in the top right here. Okay? Now, the way a Medicare Advantage plan works is most plans are going to include the Part A, the Part B, and your drugs all in one policy. Okay? So when you go to the doctor, instead of giving them your red, white, and blue card, you're going to give them your Medicare Advantage card that would be from any particular company. So let's say you have company A. You go, you give them your insurance, you give them your insurance card from company A. That's who's paying the claim now, not Medicare. The insurance company is. Okay, and that's what it's telling you here. Private insurance companies approved by Medicare provide this coverage. Most plans you need to use plan doctors, hospitals, and other providers, or you may pay more or all of the costs. So what that's saying, if you have company A, you have to go to a doctor that takes company A. You cannot go out of network, all right? You have to go to that doctor. That's going to be one of your biggest differences between the supplement and the Medicare Advantage. You do have a network to go to. This is going to be very similar like when you worked at a job or a corporation, you have HMOs and PPOs. Exact same thing here. You have an HMO to pick from or a PPO to pick from. An HMO typically is going to be lower cost for you as far as when you go to the doctor making co-pays than a PPO, but your network's not going to be as good as the PPO. You have to get a referral with an HMO. So there's a few things to think about when you do an HMO versus PPO. Now, secondly on here, it says you may pay a monthly premium in addition to your Part B premium. Now, I'm in Florida. Most of the plans we look at in Florida have a zero premium. So what that means, you pay your $134 for original Medicare. On your Medicare Advantage plan, you're paying nothing else on a monthly basis. So your monthly bill is $134 a month. You're paying nothing else for Medicare Advantage until you start using the plan. And that's what it's going to say here. You make a monthly payment. You could make a monthly payment depending on where you live at. In addition to your Part B premium, like we just said, deductible, co-payments, and co-insurance for covered services. So the way the Medicare Advantage plan works, when you go to the doctor, you could have co-payments, you could have co-insurance. So everything you do within that Medicare Advantage plan is going to typically have a co-payment. You have an out-of-pocket maximum on there that you can't go above. So every time you use the plan, you're going to be making a co-payment, whether it's going to the doctor, getting blood work, going to the hospital, getting x-rays. You're going to have a co-payment. Now on the supplement, you don't have those co-payments. Again, you're making your monthly payment and you're done. The Medicare Advantage plan, you don't make any payment up front, but you're going to pay as you use this plan, okay? And you have to stay within your network. Now, if you go with a PPO plan, you're not going to need a referral to get us to see a specialist. You can go in and out of network in most cases. The network is going to be a lot larger as well in most cases. If you're doing any kind of traveling outside of your area, outside of your state, the PPO is going to be much, much better for you because it's going to give you other options if something happens while you're traveling. So something really, really important you want to think about, HMO, PPO versus supplement, is if you're traveling a lot or you're going different places. Do you see a lot of different doctors? Do you see a lot of specialists? So those are all things you want to think about when it comes to picking a Medicare Advantage plan or a Medicare supplement plan. Because again, the Medicare Advantage plan, no matter whether it's HMO or PPO, you have to go to a doctor that takes that company. Okay? Very, very important to understand that. Every plan has a few benefits, going to be a little bit different. Some offer dental, some offer vision. There are different things they offer, but just make sure that whoever you're talking to is going over those benefits in detail so you know how much it's going to cost to go to the doctor, how much it's going to cost to go to the hospital, how much it's going to cost for your medicines, because your medicines are included in here. So make sure you look at all your medicines as well, because again, that medicines are a very big deal. That's something you pay for on a monthly basis. Make sure they're looking at your medicines, you know how much they cost. Okay, so that kind of gives you an overview of Medicare. Again, that's a very basic stuff. There's a lot more that goes into it, but at least will help you out to decide maybe you want to go to Medicare Advantage versus Medicare Supplement. Okay, so what I can do is if you have additional questions, feel free to contact me anytime. I'd be more than happy to help you and maybe give you some more guidance on what direction might be best for you. I hope the video helped you guys out. Thanks. Have a great day.